Okay. I've got 3, and all 3 of them are old. So.
The funny thing is that a lot of times when I'm preparing for this show, I'm like, man, I have fuck all to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And then 45 minutes later, after going through my notes and adding to them and all that, I'm like, man, I need to pare this down.
I have too many.
I don't even want to hear myself talk for that fucking long.
Right. Hello, Internet. How's everyone going? Okay, I don't... why is my phone blowing up? Oh, TVGP is online. Hell yeah. Let's go. That is not.
Stay tuned. Yeah. Stay tuned, Patreon members, for when we all do our own hot tub version of TVGP, because that's apparently the it thing for Twitch.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hot tub streaming.
That's right. New tier for Patreon. Let's do it.
The $500 a month tier.
Someone who's willing to spend $500, I will take my shirt off. You're not going to like it, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm cheap.
We're all filthy hoes and we admit it.
That's right. You buy Moon a new computer.
Yes, please. Yes. Well, ideally a new desk and a new computer, because I put this one back together, but I don't trust her anymore because it has been put back together.
Because you put it back together.
No, just a desk that was put together once, then disassembled and then put together again.
It's never going to be right again.
Lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't have too much of a wobble on it.
It's got enough that I can tell. I can tell in this little window.
I was gonna say, as long as you don't find a couple of screws later on, should be all right.
I'm pretty sure I'm missing one of those circular ones that you tighten by, like, the knobbly bit goes in. I'm pretty sure one of them is missing, but it's only from the side panel here, and that can't really add much other than, supporting the entire left side of the desk.
Yeah.
That's why I went
that's the lich pin, and
yeah, that's why I went for the IKEA special. 2 of these Alex shelving units, and then just a piece of wood on top of it. Nothing to put together. It's great.
Hey, when I started this podcast, I was on 4 milk crates and a piece of plywood.
Yeah. It's probably a better setup than I had in my living room when the show started.
Yeah, that was a laptop on a coffee table. I remember that shit.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't a coffee table. It was like a nightstand where I'm like, well, this is a thing I can put this laptop on. Whoops, this laptop's getting hot. Whoops.
Hey, this isn't carpeting. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, boy.
Well, the key is if the laptop gets hot, you've got to close it, turn it upside down, and then it'll run fine.
That's right, yeah.
If the Xbox 360 has taught me anything.
If the PS1 has taught you anything.
Wrap it up in a towel. And...
That's right. Put it in the oven. No big deal. All right, you guys ready to start this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Why the fuck not?
Yeah, while we're here. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston, and joining me as always is Moonpier.
For the record, I hate Boston.
And the Nymph.
Hi. I never know what to say when you say that.
Hey.
I mean, you can join in the fun and say you hate me too. I mean, I'm used
I don't
to it.
hate anybody here on this podcast. I mean, I can come up with a laundry list rather quickly. But...
Right, all right, tap in number 100. Let's go.
There's a top 10 list I can get behind.
That's right. We definitely do not hate our patrons over at patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. All of you fantastic, great-looking, super generous patrons. If you are a patron, you will get early access, behind-the-scenes, completely uncensored exclusive episodes every week. We are starting Season 7. We're starting the recording of Season 7 of Critical Misses right now. As expected, Season 7, Episode 1, real long. So if you want to get that 2 months early, go sign up patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. $5 a month is a recommended tier. Anything above that, super appreciate it. Anything below that, also appreciate it. And if you can't, times are tight. If you can't be a patron, I appreciate that too. Thank you for listening. Rate us 5 stars. 5 stars in the iTunes store. Thank you.
Don't $2,000 for a month for me, and then just specify to Boston that's for the new PC. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. We'll put it in. I'll get a little jar. We'll start stuffing $5 bills in there. We'll be there in
$5 bills.
time.
How rich are you?
Me? I don't have any money. I ain't got nothing. My job doesn't pay. Like I got nothing.
Your job pays spiritual wealth.
Yeah.
Right.
It pays in hugs and love.
That's right. And I have like this cracked black heart, so it doesn't do anything. Heyo. Let's get started.
Introduce you to Grinch.
Yeah, that's right. Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
As joked about on the pre-show, nothing.
Yeah, and all your super free time you had this week.
Mm-hmm. So I did manage to get about 4 hours of gameplay in.
Okay.
Roughly. I'm sickened to my stomach because right now my Xbox is connected by Wi-Fi. Do you know how much that grosses me out? It makes my skin crawl.
I'm feeling in a hotel.
Right. God, yeah.
The Wi-Fi there's a tease. It's enough there for you to register that there is Wi-Fi, and that's it.
Right. My phone says there's a signal, and it's crying.
Why is the Wi-Fi here called Pipe Dream?
Right.
Yes. So yeah, we'll start with the first game I played a little bit of, and that was MLB 21.
Oh boy.
Which I know Boston started playing this. So do you want to take the lead on this one, Boston? Because I've only got a little bit here.
Me and Joe Random ready to hit the ballpark. Joe Random is an incredible name. When it says like, I picked the option of create your own player. I was like, I want to see what this is. It's like, welcome Joe Random. It's like, well, now I don't want to change his name at all. This is incredible. Yeah, I started this week to see how closely your experience would mirror mine. And number one, stunning looking game. Really great looking. I picked the Cleveland Indians, obviously, because I want to be a winner. And
says everybody from Cleveland.
Right. All of us
Pretty sure
crying
there's a song
quietly.
that says otherwise.
That's right. Boy, it throws you in the deep end. Like it really tries to tutorialize you. Like I like that what is it? Does it start you with batting or does it start with you with pitching? I don't remember.
I think it starts you with batting, and it just throws you into like a random game when you first load it.
So like it started the game, and it asks me like, what difficulty do you want to play at? And I pick the box that's the shortest. It says easy, and the language is very much like you want to start here, and like the boxes keep getting bigger as the nightmare levels go higher. It then asks you like, oh, do you want to set your control settings? And I'm just like, please God, yes. And it asks me like, all right, which kind of batting would you like to do? And I'm like, Jesus, I don't. And it gives you like 4 or 5 options. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. I guess I'll do the one where
it does like a little video, like it does give you like a little
GIF. Each thumbnail has like a little GIF of like, this one you'll just like try and swing in a box, and this one you can predict the thing, and this one is like direct swinging. It's like the stuff at the right hand side is clearly not for me. I'm gonna stick to the left hand side one. So I pick one about like predicting where does
it have the crosshair essentially? Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm bad at this, but this feels okay. And then it like lets you do like 5 swings, and I'm like, okay, I'm bad at this. I didn't come close to hitting any of those. This feels fine. I'm gonna move on.
It'd pop up a little screen that said, "Hey, try our new bat assist." And...
Right, and I'd be like, "Please, yes." I mash the turn that on button.
Did you change the batting camera like I suggested to the strike zone?
I don't maybe not. There's a lot of options in this game.
Could you see the full person of your batter when you were batting?
Yeah, so I bet I didn't.
You didn't.
There's a lot going on in this game, which we'll get to here in a minute. So I do the pitching, and I pick the same one you did, which is like the 2-click style, which is really weird because sometimes it goes very fast and sometimes it goes very slow, and
It's based on the pressure of the situation, so it's based on the actual situation of the pitch. So if you're top of the ninth, you've got 3 loaded bases, and you've got to get this one dude out because you're at 2 outs. If you get this guy out, you guys win the game. Then that thing snaps back like something so ridiculously quick. It's like a whip crack.
The 2-click one feels pretty good. Like I feel I like the pitching system there, where you get to pick one of your face buttons for the ball type you're gonna throw. Do the 2-click. Go with God. There you go. That feels pretty good. Then they're like, how do you want to throw to the bases? And I was like, well, just the face buttons. Like, it's already set up like a diamond. Like, what's in the game's like, okay, fine. And then they do the system that I wish we'll get to in a minute. They do the let's catch the ball when it's like out in far right field. That system sucks. Like that is forever frustrating because it's essentially you have your player here. There's a giant arrow going towards a giant ball on the field. That giant ball is probably where the ball is going to land. You need to move your person along that arrow to where the ball goes. My lizard brain, every time it sees the person running along that arrow before it gives you control, I'm just like, oh, he's got it. I was like, oh no, I need to keep running. So it's just like, it's a really weird system that like I will get used to at some point, but just like my brain is just like, hey, he has it. Oh no.
Dude, many people are gonna get doubles against you. It's unbelievable.
Oh God, yes. Already, like it's been pretty bad. And then, like, once you pick all that stuff, they're just kind of like, all right, go play a game. And I'm like, like a 9 inning? I don't want to. I want to play, like, an inning.
I immediately quit out of that 9-minute game.
I played, like, an inning and a half, and I'm like, all right, I feel like I'm pretty happy with how my setup is. Let's go to the menu. And, boy, is that where the adventure continues or begins. Like, this is one of the ugliest menus I have seen in video games in a really long time. Like, I explained it to my wife that it looks like Microsoft came out with a new version of Excel where they're trying to steal the art style of Apple from about 15 years ago. Like, it looks like your first project in Unity that's just like, here's a menu template, fill in the buttons, and then here you go. Like, it is...
Click this tab. Blah.
It's like staggeringly functional in the way that you don't want it to be. Like it's a menu. There you go. It works.
Very few descriptions of what things mean, like Road to the Show, which they constantly abbreviate as RTTS without telling you what RTTS is.
Right, and it's like, oh hell yeah, it's an RTS game? Oh no. Yeah, I immediately saw retro mode in there too, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, let's see what retro mode is. And it's literally like what you would get on probably the Super NES, but with no tutorials. So it just dumps you in. It's like, all right, there are no button prompts on the screen, so are you pitching? Are you batting? Who knows? What do the buttons do? I don't know. Go crazy. Yep. That was really frustrating.
Really quick, speaking about retro mode, there is a moment, like, I'm assuming you went to the moment screen at some point.
I think so.
There was one of the moments that I played, I think it was like a daily moment from this week. It's like Monday or Tuesday. It was the first guy to ever throw a perfect game.
Okay.
So you had to pitch the last inning to get the perfect game. So get 3 people out basically without taking a hit or a run. And it was in black and white monochrome with the old 40s display in the bottom right-hand corner. Like,
that's pretty cool.
Was changed about it. The uniforms are different. Everything. It was so cool. I was like, you guys do some really great stuff, and then
you move on next week. Like,
yeah.
It's a really, as someone who doesn't, I like baseball and I don't know much about it, and I certainly haven't played a baseball, like we talked about last week, I haven't played a baseball game in decades, probably at this point. So obviously there's going to be some sort of learning curve here. But man, that learning curve is really steep. Like I wish, because
Mount Everest.
Yeah, like, and because the Game Pass is casting such a wide net on the number of people that can play this, because I'm not paying $70 American for this over on the PS5. That's for sure. It would be really nice if there was like a intro to the show sort of thing. I'm sure the Game Pass thing happened really, really late, so there was no opportunity for that. But like, I wish the onboarding was a little bit better. One thing that always bothers me about like sports games, and especially this game, animations are still really weird. Like you have
some cases, yes.
Yeah, like you have a beautiful game, and like you have some animations look really great, and then sometimes like people are like throwing a bat after they're done batting, and it's just like, where did you get this animation from? Like it's just really odd.
How does
I don't
the crowd look?
I don't know if I've looked at them.
Forza Horizon 4, like 3D models, but Mr. Potato Head 3D models where they're like rounded at the edges and soft looking.
Yeah, it wasn't to the point where I noticed it, so it must have been okay. It seems fine. Like it seems like for Moon and I, there's just an incredible learning curve just to get to the point where it will feel good to play a full game. I'm not sure I will ever get to that point. I'm glad I'm trying it, but I'm not entirely sure for me that sticking with it will be fun.
In all honesty, it's one of the reasons why I am enjoying playing the Road to the Show mode, is because it's a focus thing where you are you. You are nobody else. You are you.
Right.
When you're at bat, you bat. When you're in field, you field. When you pitch, you pitch.
I've got to fire that up. I didn't have a ton of time to play it when I first sat down with it. I was like, well, I have like an hour. Maybe I can at least get everything all set up. And that's about how long it took me to get it all set up. I'll have to go to the Road to the Show thing.
It's worth it because by the fact that you start in the double A's, it means nobody is like really great yet. So you don't have to worry about missing a pitch by like a half an inch on the power bar and then somebody just slamming a grand slam out the park on you.
Yeah, right.
Because most people are going to be lucky to actually do it. I did hit a close call home run. This week.
Oh, I did hit a home run in my first game, but I think that was just luck more than anything else.
Was it a for sure home run where it just stops everything? Nobody bothers chasing it. Everybody's just like, well, that's out the park.
Yeah, just everybody in the outfield is just like, yeah, man, that's going. That's way out there. Yeah. That was more luck than like...
I think my close call one was like probably about 3 feet over the wall.
Oh, nice.
So like I was all the way around to second base by the time it realized it was a home run, and then everyone was like, "Yeah, cool." And then he starts doing a little skippy dance,
the little jog. Yeah, it seems good. I am certainly not the target market, but I can certainly appreciate all the stuff it's doing so far.
If you decide to go into Diamond Dynasty mode, keep in mind that Joe Random will have a card that you can put into your Diamond Dynasty team.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
Which is how you are supposed to fulfill the Diamond Dynasty archetyped missions, which is the loadout things that you do. That's how you're supposed to do that. But they don't work right now, or they didn't last time I checked, which was like a week ago. So
I did get some experience from my first game, though. So that did function for me. Maybe I just had like a good server up window, but...
Was it first innings experience, dual line experience, or archetype experience? Because that's 3 different types of experience to buy.
That's a really good question.
I'm guessing it was first innings experience.
Yeah, I genuinely have no idea. Yeah. A lot of stuff going on in that game.
Yeah. I played a little bit of it. Like I said, nothing too much. I did a moment here and there. I have genuinely speaking been so busy. Like, I think I clock on average about 10 hours of video games a week. Minimum, usually.
Right.
I think this week I clocked 4.
Right. Rounding up.
Yes. So with that in mind, I have one more game to talk about this week.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where the guessing game comes in. I told you I was going to do it.
Resident Evil 8.
No. I wish, dude. I wish so bad. So it's considered one of the games of the generation from 2 generations ago.
Destiny 2. 2 generations ago. Okay.
I have beat this game and got every single, the 1000 gamer score on it 4 times already.
Okay, I think I know what it is.
Okay.
Well, guess.
Boston.
Mass Effect 2.
No.
Curses.
That doesn't have stackable achievements, dude. You got to think stackable. I have literally 4,000 game score in one game.
Okay.
Halo.
Different versions. Nope.
I think there's only 2 versions of that.
It's one of the best licensed property games ever made, if not the best.
The Lion King.
A couple generations before that one.
I'm not gonna lie, my favorite thing with The Lion King was Twitch streamers playing that, and then it giving game over, and they were like, "What does game over mean?"
There's that one video of game over. Game over.
Oh,
game over.
Oh, sweet summer child.
It's so good.
It's a Metroidvania.
Is it Alien Isolation?
No, dude, that's like 2 generations ago. That 360 port of that game doesn't count.
Okay.
And that's not a Metroidvania.
Shadow Complex?
Nope.
No. Great game.
Yeah.
I just realized it is licensed as well. I didn't think about that.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
It's related to the TV shows that we have been watching as a unit on the pre-show.
Where's Jeff Gersman? I need his help. Can I phone a friend?
What universe do we watch the TV shows?
We're watching Arrowverse, and I'm trying to think of what.
Who makes the Arrowverse stuff? Don't say CW. If you say CW, I will slap you through this.
The WB.
Okay. It's a licensed DC game that's great.
Oh, Batman Arkham Asylum?
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, there we go. Okay. God, that's a great game.
I always get them mixed up. I can't remember. Asylum is the first one, right?
Asylum was the first one,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, I needed comfort food.
That's definitely one of those.
And I currently have the remastered version that was released last gen, which I have never played.
Oh, okay.
And I wasn't kidding when I literally played the 360 version of this 4 times.
Right.
Because
I forgot that came out on the 360, honestly.
Yeah.
That's how good it is.
Yeah.
You could play the normal version.
The second one came out on 360 and PS3 as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
All 3 of the original trilogy did. Only City came out on this one. On last gen.
Yeah.
Because it was Asylum, Arkham City, Origins, and then whatever the most recent one is, came out last gen.
Yeah.
Look, all I know is
Knight.
I've got the Batman figure up there from City, and it's awesome.
But yeah, I needed comfort food gaming. I have beat this game on normal, Game of the Year, German, and American editions, which all stack as different games on the 360, I think.
Nice.
So I have experience in getting every achievement in this game.
Right.
So I thought, screw it. I need something that I can just literally pick up and play and get my wings back under me, if you will.
Boo.
Yeah.
And so far, I adore this game still.
Yeah.
There's a reason why this is probably one of the best games ever made, in my opinion.
It's so good.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I think I've just done the Scarecrow sequence. So speaking of game is messing with you.
Yeah. Man, those are so cool.
I love the way it looks. One downside is, yes, you spend most of your time in detective mode, so I'm doing my best to not do that this time. So I'm enjoying the game more as a whole experience.
Right.
But yeah, Arkham Asylum is probably one of the best games ever made.
It's great.
I'm really good at it. So, sure, why not play it on hard again? Again. Like, I don't know. It's great, and I'm throwing batarangs around, and I'm doing the whole, what's now known as the Batman combat.
Right.
Like, I'm doing all that jazz, and it's like, yeah, this is still great.
Yeah.
That game gave birth to a lot of modes in video games since it came out. Detectivision, the Batman fighting style, just the close quarters hiding stuff that you're doing in that game.
I mean, Assassin's Creed Valhalla even did the Riddler like spray painted stuff in its environment too.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Riddler messing to themselves.
Yep.
It's arguably a perfect game.
I wish there was more to talk about it, but it's just like most of us have played it and it's still really good. Like, maybe it's time to revisit it because it's great.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, I've been playing Arkham Asylum. I will keep you updated on my progress through that game because you always forget how long it is.
Yeah, it's still a Metroidvania.
So it's like a 20-hour game?
I'm pretty sure it's like a 20-25 hour game, because I haven't even had whispers of Poison Ivy yet, and I know there's a boss fight in there with her somewhere. Yeah. So that's going to be fun. Yes, that's literally all I've been playing and had the time to play this week.
All right, cool. Nip, what do you have?
All right, so I have a bunch of random stuff. Since I have been jacking up my sleep schedule this week to adopt the Daywalker sleep schedule.
Right.
I have been doing a lot of weird odds and ends stuff, such as playing Enter the Gungeon.
Yeah.
I played it off and on, just checking it out, and I am really good at getting to the boss and really good at not beating the boss.
Having it stomp you immediately.
Yeah, I did manage to beat... I wrote it down on here. What was its name? Bad Bullet.
Oh, okay.
Bad Bullet is the only boss that I have managed to beat, and never again have I beaten another boss.
Hey, Gatling Gull is pretty tough.
Well, there's that one, and then I get the bullet throne.
Oh, that one's really tough.
That one's a bullet hell one that sucks. But I feel like I never get anything good on my runs.
Mm-hmm.
And so all I ever end up using is the pea shooter.
Right.
But I have gotten really good with the pea shooter.
Yeah. Most characters starting guns are pretty okay.
Yeah, I can get the boss down pretty far to like less than a quarter of health before I end up dying. So I just need to finish figuring out the patterns and stuff, but I just am not awake enough to do that. But the rest of it feels like such a cakewalk now. Like getting to the boss, full health. I don't lose my helmet because I play as the Marine for the most part, just because. So I don't lose my helmet. I don't lose any health.
Right.
It's like I get there no problem. I love exploring it, and then as soon as I hit that boss, it's like, all right, let's see how long it takes for me to blow this one.
Well, and it's one of those roguelike things too, where it's like, now you'll find little ways to kind of take advantage of all the opportunities the first level gives you, so you're better equipped to go fight the boss. Like maybe you can scoop up 2 weapons or 3 weapons before you get in there, but you kind of have to maximize your key drops and your chest opens and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I did just recently find out that I don't have to keep pushing R1 to shoot. I can just hold it down and it will shoot.
Yeah, for some guns,
the problem is that I have to double tap it to restart the reload because it doesn't automatically reload.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So that's caught me off a couple of times. Dodging, I'm still getting used to. Oh my god, yeah, just because I suck at dodging right now.
Yeah, there's a learning curve with that.
Is there any dumb guns that you've found and just made you giggle yet?
Yeah, any of the good gun puns? Not
yet. I found the glass cannon, and I didn't know what it did, and I think I shot it off like twice, and then it disappeared.
That sounds about right.
Huh, okay. So I'm thinking what it had, because it said I had like 25 shots with it. And I'm thinking what happened is that in my mind that this gun has a certain percentage of blowing up anytime you use it. And I'm thinking that's what happened where I used it the second time and it just destroyed itself. So
either that or you got hit while it was equipped and it broke. I don't remember which one of those it does. It's something like that, yeah.
I did the last run that I did, I think it's called the backup. Mm-hmm. And it's basically you tape another gun to your gun so you're shooting forwards and backwards.
Yes.
But the problem was that I got that after I'd already cleared out the level and I was ready to go into the boss area, so that did absolutely nothing for me.
Oh, sure, right.
But yeah, it's fun. I still love dodging around and kicking over tables like an action hero.
Yeah, but sliding over tables.
Yeah, whenever it comes to a boss, it's like, nope, that's just not happening right now.
Yeah.
So, one day.
Yeah.
From there, I kind of played, because my family took this over, Rain on Your Parade.
Oh, yeah.
When you brought this up, I had already had it downloaded. It was something that I wanted to check out with my daughter. I downloaded it that night, showed it to my wife, because I was just playing the first level just to check it out, just to see, if this was something my daughter could play. And my wife was checking me out playing it, so I just gave her the controller. I'm like, here, knock out a level or whatever. And she went and played it, and I took a shower, got ready for work, and came back down, and she was already 5 levels into it.
Nice.
So today, I was finally able to show it to my daughter, and she was all excited to play it, and leave her alone so that I can do some dishes. And I come back in, and she has made it to the school level, which is the 5th level. She has already unlocked all 5 stars in the school level by herself.
Jeez.
And now what she does is she keeps replaying the level, because in that level you can dye your cloud different colors. There's like blue, red, and some other color.
Mm.
And she likes to dye her cloud red and chase the students running around the school while cackling maniacally.
So your daughter then, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Doesn't fall very far from the trees.
Right.
Yeah. She seems to really love it. I'm like, that's great, because I downloaded this for you to check it out. I played it a little bit. It was cool. I'm actually really surprised at how in-depth they go with the cloud creator. The fact that you can draw your own face on it.
That's not a vaping joke. It's actually related to the game.
Yeah. But yeah, the fact that you can draw a face on the cloud, or draw whatever you want onto the cloud, and then just put a hat on it and call it a day.
Family friendly. You draw a face on the cloud. Not whatever you want, you draw a face.
Yeah.
Yes, but I didn't, by accident, I had apparently I had erased the face and backed out of it thinking, okay, this will just put back the default face on it. No, so we just had a white cloud with no face. So we had to go back through and draw the 2 dots and a little smile on there, and like, all right, we're good to go. So my daughter really loves it.
Nice.
So the next game that I played with them is Dragon Quest Builders 2. We did not get very far into this because we had family coming over today for Mother's Day that I wasn't aware of, that my wife forgot to tell me about because I was working nights. So
right.
It was a surprise for me when a bunch of people showed up today. So we have gotten as far as the character creator. You get to choose male or female, hairstyle, I think hair color as well, and then what type of eyes you want. Mm-hmm. And then the game starts you off where you're cleaning a ship. You finish off what's going on there, and then we just spent like an hour just exploring the area, and that was as far as we got.
Oh, nice.
Seems like more Dragon Quest Builders, which is great, because the first one was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Later on, it got a little difficult, especially when you got thrown into the poison swamp, and you were basically just told to figure it out. But
oh, boo.
Even that wasn't so bad. It was just trying to get preparations set to counter everything that was going on at the onset. So, but yeah, it seems like it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to playing it with my kids. So we'll see what happens with that. The next game that I played after that, and Moon's going to love this, is Atelier Ryza to Lost Legends and the Secret Fairy.
There you go.
You lie. I didn't love it. Now I'm just confused.
I know you shake your head, but you love it. And every week I don't say that title out loud. I know it hurts you inside.
He misses it.
I am on the 5th dungeon, which is the Ancient Mana Workshop.
Mm-hmm.
The weapons and armor that I had were not doing as much damage and was not protecting my characters as much as I'd wanted them to.
Mm.
So I then went down the rabbit hole of crafting, rebuilding, selection,
Right.
and quality building of materials, so that way I had certain effects, traits, and abilities on the materials that I needed to craft the weapons that I wanted.
Right.
So that was a good 2 hours of just dinking around, gathering materials, crafting stuff. I have the ability to duplicate items again now, which you got in the first game. So all I had to do was just make one really good one and duplicate that several hundred times. So that way I can go through and make everything else.
Automation.
So now, so now everyone has their starting weapon that's completely maxed out with what I can do with it right now. I built them some armor that on every one of their turns, they regain health, which has really helped out. But I still need to build it up so that they have better defense. But right now, it's the regaining health is pretty much helping out with that a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at the point where I can modify the core crystal, which is a thing that you can use in battle, which allows you to use items. So there's a whole thing that opened up with that I haven't even read through everything that I can do with it yet. So I have a bunch of points that I can put into it. I just need to figure out why I want to put points into it.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know how much more of the game. I feel like I'm at least at the halfway point.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still really liking the story and just grabbing everything that I see and crafting random stuff. Like I made dynamite for this woman who said that she just needed to blow something up, and I was like, "Yeah, sure. Here you go.
I respect that, lady.
Yeah, here's a Class S stick of dynamite. Go have fun."
So, number one, you're funding terrorism.
Yes.
Every opportunity I get.
And number two, like based on your descriptions of this game, I would call you insane. But then I also know that you happen to like Disgaea, so it goes without saying at this point.
Right.
I don't know what it is, but filling bars and min-maxing certain things just really gets to me.
Yep.
So, especially with this, because I feel like there's enough going on in game, and they have enough things tied to each other where it's not like I have to look up a wiki online and be like, where do I find this item?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, if I've come across this item before, all I have to do is look up this item in my glossary, and it tells me, hey, you can find this item at this location, and these are the stats you can get with it, or, whatever. Yeah. And if I haven't found it yet, it's because I haven't gotten to the area that has that yet.
Yeah.
So it's like all I have to do is keep playing the game. Yeah, there's a lot of quality of life stuff in here, and it's, for someone just starting out, it probably feels like a mountain of paperwork that you have to read.
Mm-hmm.
Just take it one step at a time.
Yeah.
Like I haven't even got into the seed min-maxing stuff yet that lets me get to the ultimate weapons.
Right.
I won't even try to explain it here because it involves a lot of math.
Right. I'll refer to my spreadsheets.
Yes, and it's got a lot of great complicated systems that for you to beat the game or to have fun with it, you just lightly have to touch the surface of it, and you can get along just fine with that. But there's enough there that if you want to deep dive and you want to crunch numbers and you want to figure out how to do 9 billion damage like in Disgaea, there's a way.
Right.
So, yeah, still having a lot of fun with that. But I was playing that yesterday when I was still kind of groggy. So I put that down because I was going down some weird rabbit holes with that. And then I decided to play Ys Origins.
There you go.
This is more difficult in a different way.
Right.
So I bought the collector's edition for the Vita when that first came out by NIS.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have issues, I also bought imported the PS4 version from Germany from Strictly Limited, so I have that limited edition as well.
Right.
I decided to play that yesterday and today and Friday. So this game runs off of the Napishton system, which is basically the old Super Nintendo. Yeah, I know. I'm going to explain it.
It's just a bunch of words at this point. That's all it is.
Yeah. It's the Super Nintendo version. Basically think that version of Legend of Zelda, where you got the overhead camera, you're moving your character around, you're doing some platforming. It's got some Metrovania elements to it. So the whole point of the game is you're at this tower and you just have to get to the top and disperse throughout the tower. There are bosses that you have to fight. And wait until I name off these bosses. But anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So, from Friday alone, I had beaten 3 bosses, and that was basically from floor 0 to floor 10.
Okay.
From today, I got from floor 10 to floor 17, and there's 25 floors altogether.
Oh, wow.
The bosses in between them that I had finished were Valagander, the Gangly Beast, Nig Tilger, the Pestilent Anthropod, Giladi, the Murderous Construct, and I am currently stuck on Chansklard, the Man-Eating Creeper, because it has a bullet hell segment.
These are just Bloodborne bosses. Like, you can't fool me.
So,
are they Bloodborne bosses, or is he secretly performing a summoning ritual and we're all about to die?
Right. He's activated the sleeper cell.
So, this is kind of why I badmouth Souls games often, even though I enjoy them, because I always think it's funny that everyone's like, oh, these Souls games are like the pinnacle of hard and blah, blah, blah. I challenge any of you who have run a no-hit run on any Dark Souls game or Bloodborne game to run Ys on Legendary and just do boss rush.
Right.
You don't even have to play the game. Just do boss rush and then come talk to me about a hard game.
Right.
So there's no healing when you're in a boss. They changed that later on with the newer games, but since this is the old Super Nintendo version of it, there's no healing at all. You don't have potions or anything like that. The only way you can heal is when you are in certain parts of the tower. You can stand still and your character will start to regenerate health.
Oh, okay.
Some enemies, when you kill them, they will drop an item that you'll just pick up and it will automatically heal you like 10 health or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So you have that, but that's it. There's no potions. There's no Phoenix Downs or anything. If you die, it's either retry or go back to the title screen.
Yeah.
That's all you got. So a lot of these bosses are just getting the patterns and your timing down. And that's why I'm having an issue with the boss that I'm currently stuck on, because all the bosses are slightly different. It's not like, okay, this one just swings and hits hard, and then the next one swings and hits hard. No, they're different styles of boss fights.
Right.
The first boss that you fight, it basically, you have to hit it a certain amount of times. Something, it'll stun, something will pop up on top. You have to climb up top, hit it, rinse and repeat, and you beat the boss.
Right.
This one is a bullet hell one, where you're stuck in quicksand. So you're constantly being dragged in one direction or another. It pops up these little, they look like flower things that you have to destroy, because if you don't, they will start to heal the boss. Once you destroy all those, the boss will stun. You will have to jump up on top of it and attack its eye, which you only have a certain amount of time to do that. And then you restart the whole thing. So then it'll start to attack you by shooting out hornets that home in on you. It will shoot out like these wavy fly things. So they're kind of just sporadically going throughout the screen. And then it shoots out like these weird seed-looking things that will bounce around the arena, and you can hit them, but you're just bouncing them around. So you're trying to keep all this crap while you're trying to jump and avoid stuff, while you're being pushed around in quicksand.
Right.
So there is just a lot going on, and I was way music.
Yeah.
Every time you get into a boss fight, you hear the electric guitar start, and you know you're in for a good time.
Yeah, Falcom's always had great music.
Yeah, I love the East games. And yeah, so hopefully I'll have it beat this week. I've got one more character to play through. There's hidden story, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to play this a couple of times to get through it. And I think I might replay the East series after that.
Oh no! Talk about needing some comfort food gaming.
Yeah, I was actually listening to East music before the podcast started too. So
there you go. Getting yourself pumped up.
Yeah, I've got all the soundtracks. So I was like, I might as well. Loaded them all up and then started listening to them. So
yeah.
And that is what I have done this week.
Oh, okay. I finished Spiritfarer. I realized
got the platinum.
I did my 40th platinum for Spiritfarer. I didn't realize until I ran into someone's comment the ending isn't bugged. It's that you have to go through all of the Lily questline, which as soon as I finished it, I was like, oh, that's why. Gotcha. Okay. It expands much more on the ending of that game than the regular version did. It adds a little bit of something to the very final sequence that I won't spoil. But it really it actually explains why Stella is where she is in the world of Spiritfarer, whatever that world is called. It very, very straightforwardly explains this is what happened, this is why she's here, this is why she's doing this stuff. I was a little worried that was going to be too much, because I like Spiritfarer's characters because it leaves you to connect the dots between, oh, this is how Stella knew a tool in the real world, and this is what their relationship was, and this is how a tool passed in the real world, and that's, you can read between the lines for a lot of this story. This ending makes some of that stuff more explicit, and I think it doesn't really hurt anything for all the characters, but I think it adds a little bit to Stella's story. So I think that's largely a plus. And Spiritfarer is just good. I'm glad I got the platinum. I'm glad that I'm done with it. I'll reinstall it and download my save whenever they put out the next one, and check that stuff out and kind of dip in and out as they release more stuff this year. But I waited another year before I do another playthrough of that, I guess. Gotta get 1,000 points over on Xbox, so that'll be my next destination, I guess. But yeah, if you haven't played that,
already done the PC?
Yeah. The first time I played it, I was on PC. Because why did I do it over there? Oh yeah, because my Xbox One was a launch one, and I was like, this poor thing is sick. I shouldn't stress it out anymore by playing games on it. But yeah, it runs great on Series X. I did download that and check it out. It did carry over my save, and it was just like, yeah, man, here you go. You're at the end game. I was like, okay, okay.
It's an Xbox, not a PlayStation.
No, I know. I didn't play the original one on PS4, otherwise that would have carried over too. But yeah, it's weird that stuff just works. It's nice. But yeah, go play Spiritfarer. It's great.
Yes.
The only other game I played this week, even though it fought me tooth and nail at every turn, was Returnal. And it wasn't fighting me tooth and nail because of difficulty. It was just...
oh, God.
It was Housemarque.
How many hours
from the patch?
I did not lose anything.
Okay.
So I was actually... now that the weather's much nicer here, my kid and I have been spending more time outside. So it was a lot of like me looking at my phone and being like, wait, what happened to Returnal? And like an hour later seeing the tweet from Housemarque saying like, we pulled down the patch, don't install the patch. uninstall the game and reinstall it. That you can then play it. And it's just like, take a day or two off of playing this game. Maybe wait for the next patch. Kind of not worry about it. This week started with me struggling with the second boss, and ended the week with me the room outside of the final boss. So I've made an incredible amount of progress this entire week.
Maybe you should do a podcast all about roguelikes. That's all I'm
saying.
I
mean, I've been thinking about it, kicking it around. It's a cool idea. I don't know what I'd call it, but it sounds like a good idea. I'll sketch it up.
I'm gonna get a focus group for that first.
Yeah, exactly. Like corporate really wants to figure out if it's market viable or not, but it's a passion project.
It's not. It's not.
It is definitely not. I don't even look at our listener numbers anymore. I value all of our listeners, no matter how many of you are out there. So there's going to be, I guess, spoilers here, depending on how much you want to know about Returnal. This is the last game on my list, so if you don't want to know about it, just keep hitting that 30-second forward button.
What about me? I can't do that.
Just take your headphones out.
Yeah, take your headphones off. I'll see you later.
And then every time he stops talking, just nod your head.
Yeah, sounds great, big guy. I'm not going to be really explicit about spoilers, but there are mechanical things that I'm going to spoil here. The very first real upgrade you get in this game is beating the second boss, and you get a grappling hook. And immediately, so much of the game clicked where I'm just like, oh, that's what those things... now I can get everywhere. Like, it's one of those cool moments where it's just like, all right, there aren't that many, permanent upgrades in this game. There are 18 artifacts that you can kind of collect and unlock in the game. That seems to be really the only item unlockable. You're unlocking weapons as you go. Like, every time you get into a new level, it will largely, like for the first time, it'll largely give you like 1 or 2 new weapons. But there isn't really that many things where it's like, you unlocked everything is terrible, or you unlocked a new variant, or you unlocked 15 new items, nothing like that. Largely, the permanent unlockables you have are every time you do something significant in the game, it will reward you with like a traversal or exploration upgrade. I believe I have all of them now. Now that I'm kind of all the way to the end. My most successful run, I died in the room before the final boss, which felt real bad, because that was an incredible run that I just got. One of those ones where it's like, you go into a room, and this happens in every roguelike, you go into a room and you're like, this isn't so bad, and then the game is like, more enemies incoming. And you're like, oh no, that's not good. And essentially they just like juggled my corpse at that point, and it was a real beatdown. That was real bad. I thought I was pretty prepared, and then all of a sudden I very much wasn't. I've done a couple more of the like PT style first person story stuff that the game drops on you every once in a while when you make a big progression milestone, I guess. That stuff is really good. It's a really good mystery, and you're sort of getting hunted by something that is really very cool. The switch to first person in that location also is really great. When the game switches from first person to third person, it does it in really, really fun ways. I don't want to spoil too much of that stuff. I did run into Returnal's licensed song this week, which is now in my head. Celine, the character, made one like really explicit lyric call out at some point in like one of the audio logs you pick up. Because the audio logs you're picking up are like the final recordings from other failed runs of hers. so that the timeline is shifting all the time. Or like one audio log you pick up, she's like 100% insane because it's just like the run was too long. This one is just kind of, she's spent this run figuring out all the hierarchy of all these enemies and stuff. In one of them, she made this very distinctive lyric call out, and I was like, wait a minute. There's only like one song that could be? That's a pretty distinct thing. Are you gonna do that? And then the next time I went into like one of those first person PT sequences is just like, I'm gonna put on this record. Oh, okay. You licensed that song. Okay, cool.
Was it 9 Inch Nails?
No, God, I wish. That'd be great.
Standalone from the Scorpion King.
Yeah, no, you put the needle down on the record. He goes, ooh, tss, ooh, tss. It's like, no, please, there's children around. Yeah, it's interesting. The only reason I'm not saying which song it is because there's a story component to why that song is there, and they interpret that song in an interesting way in spoilers incoming, the 4th level, and they incorporate it in the 4th level's boss music. So the least surprising thing of 2021, no, there aren't 3 levels in this game like the game tells you.
It's definitely not Closer by 9 Inch Nails.
No,
because that seems like a song for a roguelike boss.
That would be really great if it was, but no. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get caught by the save bug. I feel like if I did, I hadn't made that much progress by that point, so I would be pretty happy to start it over. It's just like, it's literally the worst thing that can happen to this game that is already having a very vocal and I think fair criticism against it that it has no save and quit option. The absolute worst thing that can happen to it is to have a save wiping bug where the only way to get your save back is if you had it in the PS Plus cloud. Because it essentially overwrote your save with an empty save file. It's like, it's the worst 1-2 punch. And it just, it's really a bummer, and it's really frustrating. And I'm glad Housemarque has heard, like, yes, we know you guys want save and quit. And it's like, okay, these runs are really long. It would be really great if I could play anything else on my PS5 other than this run is going really well. I guess I'd just have to put it to sleep and put it in the hands of God and hope it comes back when I'm back in a couple hours to play a little bit more.
It seems like a...
I
don't know how they thought that would be great.
So we were talking about Enter the Gungeon earlier. Enter the Gungeon got raked over the coals when it came out because it didn't have a save and quit function. That was like 5 or 7 years ago, and it wasn't acceptable then. And there's been a lot of talk lately this week because, oh God, I hate the internet. I'm like 100% done with the internet this week. People are conflating the save and quit option with difficulty and saying, well, if you need to save and quit, it's too difficult for you. You don't need to keep playing. It's like, shut up about difficulty options. I don't want to hear you talk about it anymore. Number 2, those are separate options. If someone's like, hey man, you want to go play Destiny? I shouldn't have to say yes in 3 hours when this run is done, or this run is going really great. I guess I'll just yeet myself off of a cliff until I'm done.
I'm sorry, my child is crying.
Right, like, thank God I can pause the game, but like what if I want to go do something? Like, I shouldn't have to be chained to this game. So there's been a lot of conversation about that and saying like, well, Spelunky didn't have a save and quit option. It's like, no, it didn't, because Spelunky's runs aren't 4 to 5 hours long. Even in like the most extreme Bananosaurus Rex runs, they're not going that long. Your runs, your pausable runs are usually like, for me, like 10 minutes. But if you're really good, like 45 minutes. Even, Isaac runs don't get that long, but that has a save and quit feature that I think Isaac's save and quit feature should be the genre standard. You save and quit, it saves you in the last room you cleared. That's it. And a lot of people are saying like, well, what if someone decides to back up their save and save scum? It's like, who cares? What do I care? They spent $70 in this game too. $70 minimum in this game. A lot of other regions, it's $130. I don't care if someone save scums their way to finishing a game. What do I care? As long as it isn't like a PvP thing. You want to save scum in a single player game? Go nuts. Who cares?
Yep.
Yeah, if
you paid for that game as much as I did.
Who cares? Yeah.
Yeah, like I genuinely, like, I could not care less. What I want is I want more people to play games. So if Housemarque comes out and says like, yeah, we're putting a save and quit option in there and we're putting a God mode in there, great. I want more people to see the ending of that game. I haven't seen it yet. That's fine. But like, if it's too hard for you, great. Put on God mode, put on easy mode, whatever. We were singing the praises of Eichenfeld last year that has a literal win this fight button in every fight. It was awesome because some of those fights are BS.
The internet would lose its effing mind if they're like, oh yeah, not only does it have God mode in it, it does not disable achievements or trophies.
Yeah, great. Whatever. Yeah, it's just like I'm so tired of this difficulty conversation where people are like, well, I mean, you're not playing the real game. It's like, I don't care. I want more people to play games, and I want more people to finish games. And if they want to finish the game on God mode for whatever reason they want to, Control has a God mode in it. Control has a one-hit kill mode where literally you shoot every enemy once and they explode. That's awesome. And if you don't want to play it that way, that's fine. Then don't do it. Yeah. Shut up.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so tired of it. God.
Why I hate a lot of people who are in the Souls community because they're like, oh, well, if you didn't beat the game doing a deathless run or a no-hit run, you didn't play the game. It's like, nah, here's my two middle fingers and I don't care.
That seems to be the crux of so many of these difficulty options. It's like, well, From Software made this specifically for, it's like, shut up. You weren't part of the development team. I don't really care. It matters how you want to finish the game, and if you want to slap it on the table and say like, oh, I've done a 4-game deathless run and I streamed it, it's cool.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. Like that, you play the game in the way that you want to play. Like Resident Evil 8 is out this week, and like I feel like that's almost the best option for so many of these games is like, here's like a 6 to 8 hour tight experience that you can speed run through in an hour and a half if you want, or you can turn on all these options and you can unlock all this cool stuff to play it how you want to play it. And I think that's great. Like, I don't know. Returnal will probably be on my top 10 list this year. And if they add save and quit, or they add difficulty options, or they add cheat codes or whatever, it will still be on my top 10. You know, it's not going to be one of those things where I just start screaming about the SJW's got to my video games. It's just like, I don't care. I want more people to play Returnal. It's already a $70 current gen, hard to get console exclusive. There's enough speed bumps in the way of people playing this game that shouldn't be there. It would be great if it was multi-platform or at least on PC. But like, there's enough problems to getting people to there's enough hurdles and issues to get people to play it in the first place. Don't start gatekeeping this game that like a lot of people can't play already. That sucks. Like that's just I need to not be on the internet ever again is really the answer. That's really the only solution. It's just me like sitting over here enjoying video games like, yeah, what up? Woo! Returnal's great. All right, keep moving on. So I don't know. Returnal is really great. I'm really happy with how I feel like I'm getting better at the game run over run. Like it's one of those games where I die and it does this little like choppy cutscene where it's sort of mixing and matching multiple like quick 1 or 2 second shots from a bunch of cutscenes you've already seen. And after that plays, you wake up outside of your ship again and you're sort of doing another run. And like every time I finish a run, I start seeing that cutscene. I'm just like, I swear to God. And then 2 seconds later, I'm like, all right, new run. Yeah, woo, like run it. Let's do this. Like it's very much one of those games where it's just like, all right, I died that sucks. It's a roguelike. That's part of it. Let's get back in there. Like I'm still ready to kind of keep kicking on this thing. So I'm really excited to see the ending. I hope I'll get to that point this week, because I would really like to see where this story is going. I got this like really big and super important story kind of dump all at once, where I'm just like, oh, that's startlingly important for the story in this game. So I want to know the next cutscene and where that goes. So hopefully I will get that this week. Although a new season of Destiny 2 starts, so whoops, probably not.
When does that begin?
Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific. Season of the Splicer. So we'll...
Yeah, tell me about your baby things, but yeah, I'm going to hopefully try and have everything set up here to jump back into that. I just need to get everything fixed first.
Yeah.
You need to figure out what a landline is.
Hey, he knows what they are. It's just not an option yet. Soon. All right, that's all I'm playing this week. Let's take a break.
Looking pretty randy over there.
Looking like I'm going to slap you.
With your non-shot arm. Yeah.
Yes, with my non-shot arm, which is my right arm, so it's my good hand.
There you go. Get a good open palm slap on that one.
Backhand you with my good hand.
That's right. That's right. Jimbo says, "Happy Sunday, dudes. Happy Sunday, Jimbo. Just got Control Ultimate Edition. Since you guys praise it so much, can't wait to dive in. Man, I hope you enjoyed it. It's it runs so nice on the new consoles too. It's
just remember, we all really like the story. Actual gameplay can sometimes leave a little more to be desired.
Yeah, we just talked about like the one-hit kills and the God mode. There's a couple of scenes in there. Turn those on.
Yeah.
Especially like right after the ashtray maze where it's like the satellite dish part. Definitely turn on God mode. That part's a bunch of BS.
I didn't even know they added that stuff in there. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it was part of Ultimate Edition. They added a bunch of accessibility stuff. There's a bunch of stuff around like color blindness and can you tap buttons or hold buttons? Like some of that's pretty standard stuff. And they added some of the difficulty options too. I think there are difficulty options, and there's like 3 or 4, I think, and the God mode and the one-hit kill mode.
Cool.
Which I turn on God mode the last time I started playing, because I'm like, look, I got through this game already. Like, I'm just gonna like motor my way through this. Apparently, one-hit kill mode is really fun too, because you just use the pistol and it's like a shooting gallery. It's like, hell yeah, man, that's great. Love it.
I miss being able to unlock stuff like that in games.
Yes. Yep.
Just it's like I've already beaten the hell out of it. Let me just dick around with it and break it in ways that I shouldn't be able to.
And like I used that in Eichenfell. I only did one playthrough of that, but there was this one boss. You're fighting this like giant star, and it was total bullshit. Like just 100%. It was just like phase after phase after phase of this fight. I'm just like, I cannot. I'm just gonna pick this option where it finishes the battle, because like this is a mid-game boss. Like this isn't even the final boss. Like I just need to be done with this so I can keep moving on. Oy. Eichenfell's a really great game, though. It's in Game Pass.
Side note, because I noticed it wasn't in the show notes. Did you get that letter
from
last week?
Oh,
you said that somebody had sent you a letter or whatever.
Son of a biscuit! I'll do that next week. This was one of those weeks where I had multiple days where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this thing this day, and then I notice I'm like, it's 6 p.m. already. Crap. Okay, I'll do it tomorrow, and it's just like, whoops, it's 9 p.m. Ah, son of a like.
Shit's been crazy.
Adulthood, right, guys? My kid's going through like a developmental thing right now too, like some sort of leap. So a lot of my week has been like, either she's very affectionate, or the pendulum swings all the way to the other side where she's just pushing every boundary. So it's been quite a whiplash week. It's got nothing else to talk about.
I was actually just looking to see if the Ultimate Edition had a separate trophy list, like if it was separate from the regular, considering all the weird.
It does. Yeah.
So I might replay that.
Well, you have to, because you can't bring your save over. Heyo.
I'm not even worried about bringing over the save. It's just I had a lot of fun with the game, and I haven't played the DLC yet because I got the Ultimate Edition from PlayStation Plus.
Mm-hmm.
So, which comes with the DLC, right?
Yeah.
Oh god, there was so much weird bullshit around that game.
Yeah, it was always like, we're putting out 3 pieces of DLC, and the first one is like, here's a wave-based mode, and it's like, I'm probably okay with that one. And then the other 2 are like, here's important story things. It's like, damn it. All right. But I got to play the whole thing over again.
Yeah,
which is fine.
I might replay it again just to dick around with the extra options and to get another platinum. Why not?
Play the shooting gallery mode. All right, one shot for everything. Here we go.
Like just, I can walk up to some of those tough bosses and enemies and be like, ha, fuck you.
Right. Pew, 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 pew. Like just, these guys in the catwalks too. Pew, pew, pew. Like it's just so good. All right. You guys ready to do the rest of this episode?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of May 10th, 2021. Famicom Detective Club. Both of those games come out. The Missing Heir and The Girl Who Stands Behind. There's a deal. I bought these. I still don't necessarily understand the deal of like, both of them are $35, but if you buy or maybe pre-order both of them, it's essentially $60 total. I don't know how that works. They charge my credit card $60, and I will be able to download 2 games soon. So I don't know. They look great. I'm excited to play another like adventure visual novel thing, and apparently they're kind of classics. So I'm looking forward to starting that with the other 35 games I'm playing. Mass Effect Legendary Edition comes out PC, PS4, and Xbox One. These are forward compatible with PS5 and Series X out of the box, so that you don't have to worry about whatever new version. Just smart delivery, that works.
Yeah.
The whole thing just functions. It looks like a bunch of people have already gotten some of the legendary, like the big cat helmet version already. So it seems like we're close to getting some reviews out for this. So we'll see how this is pretty soon.
Are you guys gonna pick it up?
I'm waiting for reviews largely to see like, does this thing run okay, and is it largely the same thing? Just kind of the edges are sanded off.
Yeah.
I've heard good things about it, but I won't be buying anything for a little while. So
yeah,
fingers crossed for Game Pass.
There you go.
Well, you can already play the 3 games off of Game Pass right now.
True, but they're not new.
Oh, no,
yeah.
I keep going. I don't think I'm going to buy this day one, and the only reason behind that is just because it's a pretty big time investment.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I
don't
feel
think
like
I could swing that right now.
I feel like Black Friday this year, that one place will probably have it for $40. So like, and I've already played these 3 games a bunch. So like, I'm not. If you haven't played them before, yes, you should go play the Mass Effect trilogy. They're all really good, and these seem like the best version you could hope for of all 3. But I don't. It's nothing I need to like race out for right now.
Yeah.
Subnautica comes out on the Switch. That seems like a demanding game for the Switch. I've got some faith, but not sure that that's maybe the first platform you should play that on. But if it's the only one you got, go play Subnautica. It's on Game Pass, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's on the PS Plus collection as well.
Yeah, it was part of the PS Plus.
Yeah. And also Subnautica Below Zero comes out for PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X. Icy Subnautica. Spooky. Older
get
spooky.
back into it.
Yeah. This seems
I backed
cool.
out when I got lost in that cave for an hour and a half because I was like, all right, I just need to take a short break. And
right.
that kind of turned into a long break. So
that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about news stories here. Just have a couple. Nintendo announces Game Builder Garage. They're putting it out on June 11th. They're essentially making a game maker sort of game, I guess.
Yeah.
It
RPG Maker, what?
Yeah, essentially like Nintendo's making a Dreams / RPG Maker, like that sort of thing, where you start with a blank canvas and you can make 2D games, 3D games, sort of whatever you want. This really looks like Labo stuff, and I think the fact that it does not have Labo attached to it means that brand didn't work out as much as we thought it didn't, which is kind of unfortunate. But it looks like that's kind of the next step for some of the Mario Maker stuff they're doing, where you're not just making Mario stuff now, you can make, it's more akin to Dreams, where it's just like, yeah, man, like make whatever you want. Coming out on the Switch on June 11th for $30. So nice.
It looks like it teaches a bunch of programming languages and stuff like that. And if
Yep.
if it can get more young people into STEM stuff, then great.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like, here's your scripting language. What do you want enemies to do? And it's like, yeah, that stuff is incredible, especially for young kids to start working through some of that logic stuff and making an enemy run towards you and jump. Like that's an incredibly cool logic thing you can do in some of these languages. So yeah, I think that's super cool. The only other news story here that I want to mention, because I'm keeping a close eye on it, but it's moving so fast, I don't know where I would start or end. The Epic versus Apple trial is in court now. There's been like 400 things that have happened over the last 4 days. Like it's one of the fastest, wildest rides I think we've seen, largely because they are broadcasting audio of the proceedings, and pretty much all of the court documents got leaked, isn't the right word, put on an open website that someone forgot about, and a bunch of people snagged all the documents. So a lot of that has been, here's how the Epic Game Store works. Here's how much money Nintendo made on DLC in the last 3 years. Like, every level of that stuff is just like the tip of the iceberg for some of this craziness. So it's been a pretty wild ride so far. There've been some stuff that has been kind of concerning, and then there's been a lot of questions of like, what is a video game? And it's just like, oh god, here we go. Like, what is the Epic Game Store? Why do you have 25 games in your top 20, Epic? Can you tell me? And it's just like, oh my god. Okay. So
what is a shopping cart?
Right. What even is a store? Can we get to the root of that? So there's a lot of that. I'm sure once the proceedings continue, I have no idea how long it's supposed to be in court. They're just calling witness after witness, and it's just wild. Apple is already trying to get Microsoft's testimony thrown out because it was not flattering. So,
also Microsoft was the only company who had redacted financials on the paperwork.
Yes. But more than happy to tell everybody what Microsoft or Nintendo and Sony had in their documents, which is really great. It's like, don't worry about ours. Look at Sony, man. And it's just like, yeah, this is a peek behind the curtain. Has been very, very entertaining so far. So I'm gonna keep a close eye on that. That's why I've been on Twitter a lot lately. Is someone will be like, all right, here's my thread for day 3 of this wild ride that we're on. It's like, oh god, it keeps getting worse. Oh no.
If there's one thing that we all learn from this, it should be that giant corporations should sue each other more often, because this is hilarious.
Yeah, I want to get all the secrets. Tell me all the numbers.
Like, okay, real quick. Dream fight. 2 big corporations suing each other. Go.
Oh boy. Pizza Hut and Domino's over sauce recipes. Someone's corporate espionage. They stole the recipe.
Okay. Nope.
I don't know. I kind of just wish they'd all go away.
They go away by suing each other.
That's also a valid answer, yes.
You know what? Any ISP versus any other ISP?
Oh man, yes. Very much a Godzilla let them fight.
That's a fantastic shout.
Yeah.
I want to see Disney and Walmart sue each other.
Oh yeah. Like the two puritanical giants.
Mm-hmm. It would be hilarious.
Man. So good. All right. That's our episode this week. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We really appreciate it. You can visit us at tvgp.tv. Excuse me. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page. My voice is given out, apparently, because we've been recording 4 hours. Patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. Get us closer to the $250 goal. Resident Evil 8 is out now, so of course I have to play the first one, Resident Evil 7, to see the Ethan's journey between these two games. So get us a $250 a month goal, and I'll start playing scary, spooky stuff in the dark at night by myself.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully my kid won't wake me up and be like, Daddy. It's like, please, it's in the house. Yeah. Patreon.com/E1M1. I think that's it. So we'll see you all next week. Bye.
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 All right, Nymph, what are your titles as I open this window?
That's fine, because I kind of got to a point where I reminded myself that I was supposed to be writing titles. So
Right.
I have Wi-Fi called Pipe Dream, Poor Sweet Summer Child, and Bananasaurus Run.
That guy's name is great. Bananasaurus Rex. Like, it's a great name. Moon, how about you?
That's a top 10 I can get behind. Real long. Spiritual Wealth, Pipe Dream, Nightmare Settings, Skippy Dance, Sweet Summer Child, Daywalker Sleep Schedule, It Hurts You Inside, Just a Bunch of Words, and It's Not Market Viable.
Daywalker Sleep Schedule. I like It's Not Market Viable.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have Joe Random. That's a top 10 I can get behind. Daywalker Sleep Schedule and It's Not Market Viable.
I think it's a tie between Daywalker Sleep Schedule and It's Not Market Viable.
Yeah. Same for me. Man, I like both of them a lot. I think It's Not Market Viable is a little funnier.
That's the one I was going to go with.
Okay. I'll circle it. Circle. Let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 707 from May 10th, 2021. It's not market viable.
Thank you, patrons.
Tune into our other TVGP episodes.
Welcome to the EA Store, Traveler.
What are you buying?
I was going to say,
yeah, there you go. There we go. We got all of it. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us live. And we'll see you next week. Bye.